To Women's Speakers Association's WSA-TV. I'm Laura Rubenstein, your host and producer, and we are in epic times nowadays. We are truly having influence, and we're seeing who's having influence, and change is being called for by various communities, including our Black community. And today's show, we're featuring women who are doing something about the change that's being called for. And Women's Speakers Association, we're always about having and bringing about all your messages, the messages that women have, us in particular. And women are the change makers. So I have some incredible change makers for you here today, and we're going to go and say hi to them. Hi, Janet.
Hi, my name is Dr. Janet J. Sawyer. I'm a leadership development coach. My website is jjsawyerconsulting.com, and I live here in Carlsbad, California.
Well, welcome, Dr. Janet JJ Sawyer. Hi, Michaela.
Hi there, my name is Michaela Quilici. I'm calling in today from Holland in the Netherlands, and I am your business navigator and director of operations and training for the Global Business Connector program here at Women's Speakers Association.
Glad to have you. And hi, Cherie.
Hi, I'm Cherie Griffith-Dunn. I'm calling in from Hartford, Connecticut. I am a transformation motivational speaker. You can reach me at cheriegriffithdunn.com.
Welcome, Cherie, and hi, Anita.
Hi, everybody. My name is Anita Russell, and I am your change cultivator. I am the founder of The Place to Soar, and you can reach me at theplacetosoar.com.
Well, so excited to have you all here to talk about how women leaders are influencing and creating change, because that's what each of you are doing. So let's talk about, what is your vision? Like, what is the change, and what is your story around why this is your vision? So Janet, why don't you share with us?
Well, a couple of years ago, I was trying to find myself, and I wrote this book called Bearing Your Vision. And what I see the vision for me is to help people young all the way up to 90 years old on identifying their purpose and their gift that they were born with. It's not outside, it's inside. And imagine the life that they really truly want for themselves. So once they become self-aware, they can become intentional and mindful when leading their lives and others.
Oh, you're really guiding the next generation, aren't you?
Yes.
And is there a story around why this is important to you?
Well, it's important because what I found is when I started to interview people, they really don't know what they want. And they know what they don't want, but they don't know what they want. And so I really wanted to share my 8-step process because I created this process for myself. And it really makes you and helps you live on purpose.
Wonderful. Thank you for that vision. I'm excited for you. And Michaela, why don't you share what your vision is for the next generation, and any story you have about how this came to be?
Thanks, Laura. My vision is to inspire 1 million women in business to own their voice and spread their message so they can be seen and heard, make an impact, and transform the lives of their clients, their communities, and the world. And really, this vision was born out of my own personal story growing up as an introverted empath born in a traditional Italian immigrant household in Canada. I have very early memories of getting kicked under the shins by my mother at the dinner table for speaking in English rather than Italian. And it was a negative imprint that landed in my underdeveloped brain, which signaled to me that it was dangerous to speak, because every time I spoke, my words seemed to be met with anger and rage. And so at the age of 8, I developed a debilitating fear of speaking and a stutter, which kept me small, kept me hiding in plain sight for many years. So I've been on a lifelong journey to find my voice, reclaim it, own it, use it to influence the perception of how I see myself and how others see me. So that's why I do what I do today.
Yeah, that's a great story. And it's amazing what drives us forward. So let's also hear now from Cherie about what is the vision that you have for the next generation, and what's your story around that?
My vision for the next generation is to ensure that children don't have to go through what I went through in my generation. Even though my generation was milder than my parents' generation, we're still going through so much of diversity in reference to the color of our skin. And being a mom of 6 sons, my goal is to ensure that my children have the same opportunities that everyone else has without me having to worry about them coming home at night safely and sound. And so my story is that I'm one of 5 girls, and having 6 boys has been a triumph for me and a way for me to look at other women and say, hey, we can all do this together. I'm known as the 6-figure chick with 6 kids because my children are my reason and never my excuse.
And you are a busy one as a result, I am sure. Thank you, Sherry. And hi, Anita, and tell us your vision and the story behind that.
Yeah, my vision for the next generation is actually related to my 10-month-old grandson. And whenever I think about vision, I always think about where we are and the vision being something in the future. And then there's this space in between, like how do we get from where we are to where we want to be? And so where we are right now, it's kind of like we're in this perfect storm. So we got a pandemic on the one hand, we have cries against racial injustice on the other hand, we have economic instability. So there's all these things that are going on. And so there's 2 children that I kind of think about. One of them is fictitious in a story that I had read where it's this community, and that community's prosperity is built on the suffering of a child. And then the other child is my 10-year-old grandson. And I had an experience with my daughter, his mom, very recently, as she and her sister were going out for a protest march in the city of Pittsburgh. And she asked me a question. And the question she asked me was, did I think her son, Cairo, was going to have to march when he got older? And it made me sit back and realize that in my lifetime, my mom marched, I marched, and now my daughters are marching. And so I decided that I was going to take a very strong stance to be able to do what I do in terms of pouring into other people and helping people to kind of get a better sense of who they are so that they can have a lot more respect for the uniqueness of other people, because I don't want my grandson to have to protest for his right to exist in Black skin. So that's kind of my story.
Powerful. And here's what I love about each of your stories. You've taken them to the next level. You're using a platform to create change. So I want to hear from each of you, what is the platform you're using to create change and how are you using that? So Janet, would you like to start and circle back to you about what is this platform you're using and what is the change you're creating?
Well, I think that one of the platforms is being a international best-selling author, which was very exciting, and everybody can see the book is called Voices of the 21st Century, and powerful, passionate women who make a difference. And just being a part of that book and being part of the women that were in the book really inspired me, and it's inspired me to share my own book and my view and vision for the coming times. You know, I know that you spoke, Anita, about protesting. I don't think there's ever going to be a time that we have life that there's not going to be something to protest about. Mm-hmm. You know, that's what makes the world better. And so my platform there is just being a part of WSA and meeting all the different women and learning from them and building my confidence being around them. So that's one of the platforms that I use.
Is there any other platform you wanted to share about how you're influencing change in your community?
You know, what I'm doing is I share, I do trainings. And so I work with people, I take them through my process, and so that they can identify their dreams and their gifts in themselves and go after and create that life that they really truly want to do. And so I do a lot of coaching and on Zoom meetings where people can stay home and be safe to be able to explore what they want. So that's another platform that I use.
I love it, how you're helping people individually one-on-one through your expertise to create change, because I really feel that the individual messenger, like we are, can help people one-on-one as well as in mass. So Michaela, why don't you share with us a little bit about the platforms you're using to create change and how you're doing it?
So in my core business, I'm a business growth coach and marketing expert. So I support women business owners with a message through coaching and consulting to really help them position themselves to get noticed, get clients, and get profitable so that they continue to do their good work in the world. And in addition to that, I'm also really grateful to have been able to collaborate with Women Speakers Association to co-create a program called the Global Business Connector Program. And in that, we've created a plug and play system where leaders can own and monetize their own platform. And I support, and coach, and mentor and train them so that they really can create more leverage in their business to be able to spread their message to a wider audience and have the support and resources to be able to do that.
It's very powerful to get us women empowered and connected and to create influence and change like Cherie is doing and Anita is doing. And Cherie, why don't you share with us the platforms you use to help create change and how you do that?
I'm just so proud to say that I was going through a journey and I was looking to redefine who I am and what I deliver to the world. And I stumbled across Women Speakers Association, and I was blown away with all of the things that they offered me to help redefine who I am, to allow me the ability to brand across all of my social media, prepare myself for my next journey. And so as a global business connector for the state of Connecticut, I am just so honored to have that opportunity to give women a place where they can be seen and heard. And we're growing, and I'm looking forward to really taking it to the next level for women to share what they have to offer to the world as well.
I love that you've stepped into this platform of the Global Business Connector, and I know Michaela's doing a great job coordinating all of you. And Anita, you're a Global Business Connector, you're a change maker. What are the platforms you're using?
So my core business is the Place to Soar, which is what I mentioned earlier. And I created the Place to Soar to be a social enterprise. And that is something that is dedicated to meeting my goals as a business owner. And from a coaching perspective, I'm all about cultivating change through growth and development and personal growth and development on a daily basis, as well as personal development. And it's important to me that I define my company as a social enterprise because it's all about, obviously, I want to make income. That's kind of goes without saying, but it's also important to me that I bring something into the mix that creates social good. And so I built my company on these three pillars that are all connected to creating this social good. One is about communicating and connecting, and that's where my coaching practice comes in. When you think about the coaching relationships, it's really important for that to be have a very strong rapport between the client and the coach. And so that being able to communicate and being able to connect well with my clients is very important for me to help them to get to where they want to be. And then the second pillar is around connecting and collaborating. And that is where the Global Business Connector and the Women Speakers Association comes in for me. And I like the motto that we have, it's inspiring women to be seen and heard. And so when I think about that and how that dovetails with who I am as a life coach, it's a very good fit. And so it makes sense that I would be standing on both of those platforms. And then the third one is about collaborating and engaging. And so this is where the community engagement kind of comes in for me. I'm also a member of an organization called the U.S. Coalition of Black Women Businesses. And so in that vein, I'm actually able to do a lot of work that's centered around advocacy as well as community engagement. So when I put all three of them together, it kind of creates what my company is all about. And that is helping people to soar fearlessly with vision, purpose, and action.
Beautiful. Wow. Can we have a more powerful group of women here in one setting who are creating change, who are leading others to be influencers as well as being influencers yourself? So kudos to all of you for that. I'd like to give you an opportunity, if you haven't already said, anything that you wanted to say on this program about how you're influencing creating change, as well as would you recommend other women with a message that they get involved in WSA and why? So, Janet, maybe you can share that.
Well, I mean, when you just listen to what everybody is saying, we are all about making this world a better place by bringing out the strengths of all of us women and bringing voices to these women. You know, that was really amazing to listen to what you all were saying. The thing that I really don't want people to get confused about is the title is Women's Speakers Association. And when I said that to somebody, they went, well, JJ, I don't want to be a speaker on stage. And I think that, you know, I want to really help with that perception, because that's not really what I think Women's Speakers Association is about. I think it's about bringing women together to help support each other, to get our voices heard, to build our confidence. And of course, we speak. May not be on stage, but we're speaking all the time. And so I hope our viewers don't think that, oh, it's only for people that are trying to get speaking gigs, because it's so much bigger than that.
Such a great point, and it's like a bravo standing ovation here for you for saying that, because we are always speaking to people, and if you want to have influence in your life and have people gain that respect, we want to support you in that, you know, getting your message out. So fabulous point. Thank you, JJ. Michaela, tell us about you know, what you want to share about what is the value for other women and getting their message out and getting involved in Women Speakers Association.
What I love about what we're creating with the Global Business Connector program with WSA is that we're really elevating women with a message to become those change agents and those leaders in their communities at that local level. And I love what we're talking about here about using our voices, and we are all speakers. You know, the world is our stage. And so this is a really like grassroots initiative that enables our global business connectors like Anita and Cherie to grow their own platform. And, you know, they're helping grow more leaders, right? And so is Janet with her books and her message to grow more leaders. And so the ripple effect is massive, because it's transforming the lives of people, communities, and the world, as everyone is supporting each other to grow and not do it alone. So what I love about Women Speakers Association is that we are that platform, right? So having a message is not enough. We have to make sure that we are being seen, we're being heard, and that message is being amplified. And so WSA offers a platform to plug into and connect with community, with other women, to link arms with other women, to get training, to get other tools and resources, so that you can really make that impact you desire. Because doing it alone, you know, doesn't get you very far, and there's no reason to struggle. And we're here to go farther if we link arms together.
I love how you make that point. We make it easier if we collaborate. And Cherie, I think that's what you were saying, and maybe you can elaborate a little bit more on the value that Women Speakers Association and the platforms you're using is.
Absolutely. I mean, I value myself as a connector. And so when this opportunity came around, I was super excited because I'm like, finally, a home where I can bring people who need these types of resources, who need these types of branding and support to get their message out. My whole goal is for people no longer to have to suffer or worry about how they're going to maintain their business. This platform gives them the tools that they need to do that. And we're here to support you. And it's as simple as some of us don't have an amazing bio. Some of us don't have an amazing profile. Well, you can come here and we're going to teach you, we're going to guide you, we're going to help you get what you need. So it's not only about becoming an author, speaking, or having a program to share. It's about if you have a passion in your belly and you want to get it out and share it with the world, but you don't know how to do that, well, we're definitely the organization to help you do that.
It also sounds like that the Women Speakers Association has helped you put the structure in place to help other women get their message out. Would you say that?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I feel amazing about it. And the women who I've been in contact with, I'm just so proud and hopeful for them with their career. And to give them a global platform is unheard of. We're in 120 countries. That is phenomenal. And especially in this type of market, we're all on a social media platform. This is how we run our business. You can, now speak in Nigeria, right? Because of the fact that we're global and we have this opportunity. So it's so much more than what meets the eye on the surface.
It is. It's great what you're doing. Thank you. And Anita, you've got this platform now, and is it one of your pillars? Tell us what the benefit is, and if you recommend other women joining us.
Oh, definitely. I want just kind of piggybacking off of what Cherie and Michaela said, particularly Michaela, because one of the reasons I decided I wanted to become a global business connector more on the personal level is this whole thing of being able to have access to this platform. But it's not enough just to be able to have access to the platform. What I like about WSA is there's no, it's not prescriptive. So it's not everything is set in stone and you go through this step and this step and that. Everything is kind of customized for who that individual is, for what that individual is bringing to the table. And so I like the idea of being able to be on this grand stage, but I can be on that grand stage in the fullness of who I am as a human being, the fullness of who I am as a woman. And there's nothing that's sort of telling me, no, you should do it this way or you should do it that way, because I'm bringing in my personal story. I'm bringing in that message. And I think where we are today, so many messages and stories that are being told are, it's so great to be able to tell it in our own personal voices. So like the story that I told about my daughter going out to protest, that meant a lot to me. And when I came to that realization, 3 generations protesting basically for the same thing, but having that platform to be able to say that is really, really beneficial. And one of the things that I kind of like to focus on is this whole idea of unleashing human potential, because we have so much inside of us. And I like also in the building in my community, I focus a lot on authors because authors have so much to say. And giving them that platform to be able to get those stories out and everything is just so amazing. And the fact that we're able to do this as women. So I actually wanted to share something with you. It's a quote from Coretta Scott King. And she once said that women, if the soul of a nation is to be saved, I believe you must become its soul. So in order for us to become that soul, we have to feel very comfortable in sharing and telling our personal stories.
I just wanted everybody to sit with that for just a second. That's powerful. And let's become the soul. That's what Women Speakers Association is geared to do, is to bring our soul into the world to become its soul. So like you see on a couple of our screens. JoinWSA.com is the place to go to check us out. If you want a voice in our Voices of the 21st Century book, go to voicesofthe21stcentury.com like JJ Sawyer has done. And if you're interested in the Global Business Connectors, Michaela, what is the link for them?
You can visit
is it
WSALive.com.
Okay, WSALive.com. So, but start getting our free download at speakersuccessplan.com. If you don't even know what your message is, or you know you have a message and you need a little roadmap, speakersuccessplan.com can get you on the right ramp. We have a lot of resources, as all the women mentioned. So we're here for you. Thank you, ladies, for being the global influencers and change makers that you are. You're doing fabulous, and I am very grateful for it. And I know the people that you've touched personally are immensely grateful. So we'll be back next week with another with Michaela. Actually, you're going to be back with us next week. So talk to you then. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.